It almost smells a little bit like Volvo gravy today. What's up, guys? It's Drifts and Lifts here. All right, so today's episode, we're doing some fun stuff in the name of cheap fun. So I got my friend Dan here with his Volvo 740 wagon. So Dan's a good buddy of mine. I sold him this wagon about a year ago now. And it was bone stock when he got it, so he's been doing a lot of stuff too. It's got like coilovers, and actually I'll let him tell you about it. What's the deal with your wagon here, Dan?
So it's a 89 LH 2.4 factory 5-speed. It's on BCs. It's got a Fish Racing Hydro E-brake. Got a shaved head here and adjustable timing gear. It's on some 1970s appliance wheels, full interior got
the Lexan windows here.
And the sunroof as well.
Lexan sunroof.
It's got a full blast pipe on it. Yeah. 391 rear end, open welded. It's got a couple cosmetic things here and there, like E-codes on the front, Momo wheel, 960 tail lights on it as well.
He's actually done a lot of modifications since he got this thing.
Yeah,
it's come a long way.
I got way more to do on it.
Always something to do.
But yeah, now I'm trying to go for a little more power out of it. It does drift well the way that it is. I've taken it to, I think, 2 or 3 drift events now, just stock with a K-cam in it.
Totally.
And it's done really well, but I want just a little bit more in the dry.
So, which brings us to what we're doing today, guys. So, if you notice, we got the engine actually almost back together. So, we were actually just at the IPD garage sale about a week or 2 ago, and it was awesome. It was actually my first time going to that thing. Tons of cool parts, and they're having a sale while they're doing the garage sale there. So Dan got a adjustable timing gear. So this car actually, it runs good for what it is. He had a K-cam. It's a stock B230F motor. We figured we would try something that I've never tried before. So lots of people know you can shave the heads on these cars, get a lot more compression out of them. So I was doing some reading, asking a couple of my Swedish buddies what they thought. And we came to the conclusion that if we shave 3 millimeters off the head, we're on a Ford Pinto timing belt, so that's 1 less tooth than the factory belt. Get our adjustable IPD cam gear and put some ethanol in it. We're thinking that this setup should be like a simple way to make 130 wheel horsepower. So I've never tried this before. I've done a little bit of this with like a turbo car, but this will be the first time actually shaving the crap out of the head. 3 millimeters is a lot, by the way, guys. The machinist probably was wondering what was going on when you asked him to do that.
They made me sign a waiver on the work order before it got started.
The machinist is probably like, that's a lot of millimeter to shave. So, but yeah, guys, so we have it back together. It's all buttoned up. We got our timing belt and everything. And actually, because we're going to be running ethanol in this car, and the reason we're running ethanol is so it doesn't detonate. Now, if you shaved this much off of the head and tried to run it on pump gas still, we're thinking that it would be pretty rough and you'd get a lot of knock. But you know, if you've ever ran ethanol before, you know the knock reduction tendencies of it are amazing. So that's why people love this fuel. So what we did, guys, if you know, when you're running ethanol, you have to run 30%, roughly 30% more fuel to get the same air fuel mixture. So what we did, a budget cheap way to do this, is we got a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator off of Rock Auto. And this is actually from the turbo Dodge cars of the mid 80s, like the Daytonas and Dodge Spirit RT, those kind of interesting cars. So this is a 4-bar regulator that fits right into the stock rail perfectly. The only thing is the barb's slightly smaller, so you just got to clamp it on a little harder to make it work. If it runs good, and sounds like it's probably good, me and Dan will take it for a rip down the road, and we'll probably go do some drifting in it later. So yeah, let's see how this runs, man. I'm pretty excited.
Letting it drink its corn.
D-wall ethanol. So yeah, if I didn't mention before, guys, we think that these factory non-turbos are a 2.5 bar fuel pressure regulator from the information I could gather from the interwebs. So going from a 2.5 to a 4 bar should roughly give us like 20 to 30% more fuel in general across the whole RPM range. So, because ethanol needs about 20 to 30% more fuel to do the same thing, this should be right about right. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It is it's a greasy old tractor engine at the end of the day, but as long as it doesn't detonate and it makes more power than it did before, we'll be happy. All right, guys, so this will be the moment of truth. Let me actually go, I want to hear the idle. Actually, we'll start from here. All right, guys. just like enough to. Sounds pretty lumpy. Sounds like it's got a little more oomph at idle.
It died out.
Sounds pretty lumpy. Sounds like it's got a little more oomph at idle. Alright, so she runs pretty good. Doesn't seem to run much different than before. So when you do a shaved head, it's supposed to retard the timing, so that's why you got to run an adjustable cam gear. We won't really know what's going to make the best power until we get it on the dyno and try a couple settings. But in theory, it should jam a little harder, at least right now. It's quite a bit more compression. It should be around 11.5 or 12 to 1. Sounds like it rips, dude. That's fucking sick. It looks like the car rips harder. Dan, what do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know, like at least from sitting in the passengers for a couple pulls, so I'm gonna take for a boot. Sounds like
I think that's Liam.
Alright guys, so we figured it would be a cool test if we did a bit of a race, a slow car race with Dan's wagon against our buddy Liam here. He's got his Civic out. So just tell us a quick little rundown of the Civic. What do you think the power to weight ratio is, that kind of thing?
Not sure about the power to weight ratio to be specific, but about 2,300 pounds maybe, like V18 B1, so 140 horsepower maybe to the wheels. Four-wheel disc brake, just a bit of chassis bracing. Not too much about it to be exact. Pretty basic build, but I enjoy it.
Sick, dude. Hell yeah. And These wheels are real, by the way, guys, just so you know. Yeah, 2,300 pounds compared to like 2,600 pounds. 140 wheel horsepower, but less torque.
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
so
indeed.
so this car is probably making like 140 foot-pounds of torque and like 125 to 130 wheel. This is probably 140 wheel horsepower.
Yeah, like
100,
110, 120,
yeah,
like
something like that,
maybe
yeah.
at best.
Sure, sure, okay. All right, guys, so I'm actually really happy with the results. I've been for a rip in this car a couple times, and yeah, it's definitely faster now. I'd say 10 to 15 more wheel horsepower, it feels like. It definitely didn't like spin the tires all the way down the road like that before. Like, we've definitely done stuff like this in this car before. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty much a success, guys. So the formula for this cheap way to do this is shave 3 millimeters off your head. And honestly, if you can do some head porting at the same time, we didn't port the head at all, you'd probably pick up another 5-10 horse. We really should have, but you know, whatever. The Pinto timing belt, so you find one of those on Rock Auto. You need an adjustable cam gear, and you need ethanol and a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator. So that'll get you to basically this setup. I'm gonna estimate 125 wheel horsepower, maybe 130. It's got the K-cam. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah. So Dan's car has definitely come a long ways, and it's pretty cool machine now. It's got, you know, a bit of upgrades in every aspect of the car now. So anyways, guys, that's a wrap up for today. I will see you in the next video. We got a bunch of cool stuff coming for the blue wagon. So yeah, I got a pile of cool parts that I can't wait to show you guys on that car, and it's going to be quite the monster once we're done. Like and subscribe for thick, zesty Volvo gravy. Peace out.